Step into the game. We the Curry brothers, night and day network. We bring awareness to the community, spreading consciousness. With the truth we chase greatness. In the darkness we shine like the brightest stars, using our platform to break mental prisons. You know who we are. From the streets to the stage, we never back down. Constantly evolving, we wear the crown. Mindful warriors, we're changing the game. Never staying the same. Night and day network, we're here to stay. Bring awareness and consciousness every single.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer, don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on, the battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
What in the hell is going on out here? Man, oh man. Make sure y'all smash that like button when y'all get in here. We got another show for y'all, man. JR, I think your mic is off, brother.
All right. What up, y'all? Got another lineup for y'all.
Man,
early show.
We got Master P son out here, so-called stealing refrigerators. And then we want to address this poisoning that's going on continuously.
Right.
Yeah, all these toxins that we be in it. We have to keep driving that point home, because I see a lot of sick individuals around here. We gotta be more conscious of what they're doing to us and what they're allowing into our, not just our food supply, but our air, and what they allowing into, like, dumping into the water.
Yeah, within water supply, right?
Right, the water supply that we all using. Yeah, this is really getting out of hand. We're gonna address that on the second segment, but man, listen. They said they caught the boy out here stealing refrigerators.
We
gotta get it. I said, oh, wow.
Yeah,
that young man ain't gotta steal no refrigerator, but then you think about how stupid you were when you were around that age.
Right.
It's just dumb stuff. You know what I mean? You do dumb stuff, get caught up, and that's just how it be.
Now it was him and some college buddies. You know what I'm saying? That did it. So Hersey Miller, Master P son, the coach addresses the fridge theft, says it is a huge misunderstanding. So Hersey Miller, Master P's son, was arrested last month after a pair of his Southern Utah University men's basketball teammates allegedly stole a couple of refrigerators from outside of their school bookstore. But the coach adamant it's all just a huge misunderstanding. Said according to the court documents obtained by KUTV, the theft occurred at the SUU campus, Cedar City, Utah, back in November 11th. So I guess this was them right here, him and the other two guys. Look like a couple of pranksters. Look like a couple of you know how that is.
It's wild. Stealing a refrigerator on camera.
On campus. Right. It says the doc state that Hersey and the two other Thunderbird players, Brock Felder and Peter Dadson Jr., were on surveillance video nabbing the coolers from the SUU's bookstore before loading them into separate cars. Like, really? Like, what made them think they could just steal that joint on camera and just get away with it, though? Like, what the hell is that? What the hell was that about?
Man, make them get them refrigerators back and make them pay a fine, and that's it.
Right.
You move on. Don't ruin those kids' lives over no refrigerators.
Right.
Because that ain't worth it.
Nah, it damn sure ain't.
Those refrigerators ain't more valuable than those kids' futures.
Nah.
That's what we need to start thinking with that mindset in this society. Yeah. F everything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make them get refrigerators back, maybe give them some community service or something and send them on their way.
Exactly.
Because you know how it gets crazy out here. You know, they like to make example out of people and all that. That
Petty.
stuff need to be re-examined. How sometimes the justice system be, especially when it comes to certain skin tones. Also, that's another issue.
Yep.
You get judged a certain way, you know, just by that alone.
Yep.
Certain areas.
So I guess the cops wrote documents. They saw one of the fridge inside the residence belonging to two of the basketball players. And when the officers questioned the two men about it, they admitted it that they did take it. So it says Miller in the dock state told police they thought the refrigerators were going to be thrown away, given to the green light or the to nab them. Said the cops also wrote in the docs that Dadson told them the coolers had been sitting out there almost a month, and he too was under an impression that they were going to be tossed. Oh, so they thought they just misunderstood them Jones for trash. So that's why the coach said it was just a misunderstanding, because the way the refrigerators was out there, they thought they was it was going to be dumped or whatever. So they just took them and was going to use them, put them to use. So I could see how that could be a misunderstanding. It said all three men were arrested, and now are facing felony theft charges. Like, man, don't ruin.
That's what I was saying. Like, don't ruin those kids. Like, don't ruin those kids. Like, their futures is more important than a refrigerator. And it was no harm done to nobody.
Give them a little.
Come on, man. That's what we talking about. That's the type of injustices that we be talking about out here. That's happening. That needs to be paid more attention to.
Right. Find them, let them do a little community service, and just let them move on with that, man. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just as petty as ruining people's lives over, like when they was like locking people up for a little bit of marijuana and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Ruining people's lives for that. For a plant that grows in the wild. You know what I'm saying? That you ain't using to hurt nobody, you using it for yourself or whatever. And you really destroying people's futures over petty stuff like this. Yeah, the system definitely need to get re-examined, because it's wild out here.
All right, so it says the trio, however, still playing for the SUU despite the situation, and all three are logging time for the Thunderbirds 9-55 win over the Park University Gilberts on Tuesday. All right, so yeah, they took them. They said they took them because they thought they was going to be tossed away and they was going to put them to use. So yeah, I can see how that. I see how that could be a misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So they don't have.
They obviously they didn't think they was doing anything wrong because they knew a camera was there.
Yeah, it said
like, who was still on camera. So they probably just thought they were throwing them out.
Have had zero. Yeah, they said the kids never had no issues in school or nothing, none of that. So why would they just go start stealing if they ain't had no issues prior to that? Why would they just go start stealing refrigerators and all that? They don't even need to do that though, because if they already got bread just by Master P being his dad, and then I'm pretty sure the school he go to, them kids they probably could just go buy a little refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, the coach spoke up and said it was a misunderstanding anyway. So yeah, well.
Yeah, I tend to believe that was probably a misunderstanding. I can't really see them just throwing their life away over some refrigerators. They probably did see them out there every day for a month and thought nobody was using them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. And the thing is, like I said, if there's a camera up, they know it's a camera. They stealing them. They not going to just steal them right on. They know, because they be like, well, the camera's right there. We stealing them. How we going? They going to see that we did it. So obviously they took them, with no ill intentions,
right?
Because they did it right in front of the camera.
And I don't think the young boy Percy Miller's going to be out here representing his dad like that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, the way the mindset his dad on right now, I don't think the young boy is going to be representing him that way anyway. So I mean, I believe they took him by misunderstanding.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get into a little bit of what Master P was talking about in this video, where he explained how when he left the music business, because it's no money, in the music business no more. You know what I mean? And based off of him saying they made more money with tangible products. You know what I mean? They made more money with tangible products. The streaming companies is not paying them like that. The music is the streaming companies is basically ripping them artists off. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of this with Master P.
But I'm out of the music industry because ain't no money in the music industry. And I know people might get mad and trip, but I'm just saying, y'all know it's a lot of things that we used to do. It ain't no money, and it done tapped out. They trying to figure out how to make money off of streams. When Snoop put a post up, said, man, I sold 1 billion streams. I only made this little money. Where the millions at? We knew where our money from because we had tangible goods. And that's why I got into the product game. We could actually have tangible goods. I told people all the time, product outweighs talent. Product gonna be around when we not here. Michael Jordan is still successful because of the shoes, not because him shooting balls into the hoop. That been over. All the time did that. But guess what? Look at the business he was able to create. African-American owned. So people laugh at me, say, well, Pete, why you came up with cereal? We're the #1 consumer of cereal. Go look and see how much those big companies make off of us. And then people tell me, oh, well, you got sugar in the cereal. They've been having sugar in their cereal for 100 years. So you wouldn't want me to build a brand and a company and put money back into our community, educate our people, give our people opportunities and jobs, but y'all gonna let them do it? That's like somebody saying, don't make Snickers. If we make a Snicker, oh man, the black man got a Snicker with sugar. That was the Snicker been had. What you want me to make? A sugar-free Snicker? We have to deprogram our mindset and stop hating on. But I'm out of the music industry because
I understand what he's saying far as that. But the thing is, he did start making healthier food, and they still shelf his products. They still put them in the back of Walmart. They never put them out on the shelf out front. They still railroad his his cereal, him and Snoop cereal brand. And
it's probably being blocked for a reason.
Yeah,
because if it's based off anything, you know what I mean, from a higher standpoint, we shouldn't be poisoning each other anyway.
Right.
Let them play the poison game. That's probably the God blocking that, saying, like, yeah, let them play the poison game. Yeah, probably switch up and get into natural products anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He started making.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it. This is a war. It ain't just a war against us financially. Because if we sick, how we even going to enjoy the wealth? You ain't even going to live long enough to even see the wealth from the progress. You won't never enjoy the fruits because your health is too bad.
Yeah.
You won't never enjoy the fruits from your labor because your health is too bad.
Yeah.
You gotta think from that. You gotta think from that standpoint too. So he's right about the financial side of things. We do need to start being more about business and less about the rapping and less about the hooping and less about the fighting and be more about the business. That's why I respect what Mike Tyson did. We know he threw that fight for that 20 million. We knew that was all scripted, but he was thinking about himself and his family financially.
Yeah, and getting back.
I I respect that. And the thing is, he deserved that.
Yeah, you know for all the work he put in.
Facts. Bro, so I'm not. So I understand that, but it's two sides to this. You know what I'm saying? It's two sides to this as far as what he's saying. I understand they do put sugar in their cereal and all that, but we should probably want to strive to be better.
Facts. Flip it. Yeah. Take it and flip it. Since the products that they use, we know with the ingredients that they use in their products that they've been selling to us for years. Don't take on that.
They've been poisoning us for years. For real.
I mean, flip that. And I think that's what he did. He you know what I mean? He realized that, look, you can't be the same way these corporations be. You got to somehow flip that and sell a healthier version of the products that they selling. So you can, you know what I mean? So, and I believe the more people that become conscious of it is going to gravitate towards more natural products anyway. So that's automatically going, by default, going to get the corporations out of the way or force them to make better products. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to force them to make better products as more people start to wake up. So, because we definitely got to get into this, bro. We got to get into this, man. The FDA approved toxic foods. Avoid these ingredients that you see in foods. This is put out by Dr. Nick Karowski. This is his YouTube channel, and he put a video together. The top 10 foods ingredients that you should avoid that the FDA had approved. So before we get into that, we definitely got a sponsor. You know, I'm getting into our sponsor, which is us. We sponsor our own videos, nightandayherbals.com. So head over to nightandayherbals.com to get your, you know what I'm saying, to get your soaps, your body oils, your body butters, shampoo, deep cleansing shampoos, conditioners, you know what I'm saying, soaps, you know what I mean, natural CBD, everything.
All of our products are natural also, 100%. And this is what we've been talking about. Yeah, I mean, bringing more. So we're going to sell products to our community. Make sure it's something that's going to actually be a utility to us, something that's going to be useful to our bodies and our minds.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Because even if we did get the wealth as a community, we ain't going to enjoy it if we unhealthy.
Hell no.
Yeah, you know I mean, that's just how it is. And that, because all your money is going up going to medical bills, and you're going to feel like crap.
Facts.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want to get to the business of building a community, because that's what everybody always talk about. I mean, whether they action show it or not, the best way to get into the community, to give back to the community, is health. You know what I'm saying? And it was happening. We're being targeted, not just our community. Our community was always the test ground with all the stuff they used to sell in the hood first. With all, you know, the artificial candies and all that, the penny, all that stuff was targeted to us. You know what I'm saying? And now all that stuff had all the chemicals in it. But then they rolled it out to everybody. Because now everybody, it don't matter what color you are now, everybody's being affected by all these chemicals that's being approved. So it's like actually a warfare.
It's about, it's about control, and it's about finance with them. They don't care about skin color and none of that. These corporations, all they care about is the money and the control, the power, the money, and the control. So, I mean, that's it. It just doesn't stop with just them targeting black people. They targeting everybody now.
Well, they use money as a tool. We use money for survival. See, that's the difference between them and us. We use money for survival. They use money as a tool. Because they create the money out of nowhere. So they got infinite money because it's really one system that's doing all this. It's not really as separate as we think.
Facts.
But even though that's starting to divide, and you see things that start, because certain people is waking up from this, even people in higher places is waking up from this, and we don't want it anymore. Nobody want it. Nobody don't want to be poisoned anymore. Everybody is equally being affected by this, no matter what class you in. We're all being affected by the poisons now. Even the individuals who's allowing it into our environment, they are being affected by it.
That's a fact.
That's how crazy. That's how madness this is. Like, these people will go so far to control us, they hurt themselves to control us. That's wild to me. That mindset, I can't even comprehend, and I can't live in a world like that with individuals like that. Because you go so far as to hurt other people. Yeah, I mean, hurt yourself just to hurt other people. That's crazy. Because who they expect, they realize when they dump this stuff in the water, the air and all that, they affect themselves, their children, and everybody else's. I just still can't comprehend that. Everybody's walking around sick. Headaches, skin problems, all types of health problems. This is not natural. This is not natural for you to wake up with a headache every day, or can't breathe, and you got skin problems and heart palpitations and all this crazy stuff you constantly going through. Like, damn, why I feel like this? It's because you're being poisoned every single day, intentionally now.
Yep.
Because they are approved. It's scientists that's approving these chemicals, so they know what they're doing.
Well, it's the scientists that's doing the research, which these corporations is actually putting the money back into the research And the FDA is who keep approving these ingredients that they putting in the food. Now you got to think about if we open up a restaurant, we open up a night and day restaurant, and we start serving foods, and we start putting these ingredients, not the way the corporations do it. I'm just saying we started making hamburgers and start pouring stuff into it. Some of these ingredients, bro, we'd be in jail by morning.
Yep.
So why are the corporations able to get away with this? That's because they're protected by, they protected by, lobbying through politicians. They always up there passing different bills that favor in the corporations constantly. So, like I said, we'd be in jail by morning if we use some of these ingredients that we're about to actually play from this video right here. So this is Dr. Karosky going through all the different ingredients that the FDA, the toxic ingredients that the FDA approved. So let's go ahead.
Like the FDA, that we're always going to protect you from eating bad foods. Well, not so fast. I'm going to uncover a list of ingredients that will destroy your health that are deemed to be completely healthy by the FDA. Hey, Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Zarowski, and whenever we buy food, it's so important to make sure that we're reading the labels, because we're going to find some ingredients in there that are pretty unsavory and damaging to your health. Let's go ahead and dive into the first one, and that's going to be high fructose corn syrup. Now, this is a very inexpensive sweetener that's used in a lot of food and drinks today. Now, high fructose corn syrup is particularly damaging because it has to be converted by the liver to glucose, glycogen, or even fat before it can be used as an energy source for your body. And high fructose corn syrup has been shown to increase triglyceride production, leading to a variety of different illnesses, anything from obesity, metabolic syndrome, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even an increase in amount of body fat. High fructose corn syrup is also associated with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is a big problem in today's world. Obesity, linked to high fructose corn syrup usage, also increases the risk of developing several types of cancer. There was a team of scientists from Cornell University, and what they did in some research is they basically fed high fructose corn syrup to mice, and they found that high fructose corn syrup actually promoted the growth of intestinal cancer cells. The thing is that's very interesting.
That's the thing right there. This is a chemical compound. Yep. This ain't even natural sugar. This is a chemical-based sugar made in the laboratory.
With corn, they add all these synthetics to corn to extract the sweetness out of the corn to make it sweet enough to add to products, and that chemical extraction is highly poisonous to us. So you gotta think about it. They say, oh, but there's only small amount, but it's in everything. It's in your ketchups, it's in your cereals, it's in your bread, it's in your Gatorade, it's in everything. It's in everything, and it's highly cancer causing, and it causes diabetes because your liver can't process it because it's a chemical
toxin
that's designed to attack your liver. You know what I'm saying? It's a chemical that's designed to attack your liver. That's why you see people with really bad diabetes have those yellow eyes. It's because they're being exposed to too much high fructose corn syrup because it's running rampant in the American diet. It ain't even just the sugar. Now, the sugar is just as bad. The processed sugar is just as bad because it's not natural sugar cane. They literally strip all the nutrients out of the sugar and they add chemicals to it. So it's really, when they say in certain things like corn, oh, high fructose corn syrup is just corn. No. It's actual chemicals. Yeah, it's actual chemicals with corn in it. That's what it is. It's literally chemicals with corn in it.
Yeah, they have to use a chemical base to basically extract it from the corn. Whatever chemical base they're using to extract that corn to turn it into a sweetener. That's crazy. Like I said, me and you was doing that, bro. We be in jail doing that in the lab somewhere. We'd be somewhere in the basement creating these we'd be in jail, bro. We'd be in jail by morning. Like, come on now. Let's continue.
And they
about
say it's
this is
Hit
genetic.
that like
is
button.
that gastrointestinal cancer continues.
Hit that like button too. If y'all just coming in here, please hit
Yeah.
that like button. This information is definitely need to be spread on the
Hell
definitely
yeah,
need to
this
be out there.
information
You know
need
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
out there.
Come on now.
Continues to skyrocket today. They're finding in animals, it increases cancer cells in your gut. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's happening to us as well. High fructose corn syrup, in my opinion, should always be avoided, and I don't believe it is a safe, good, healthy alternative sweetener. Next on our list is aspartame. Now, this one's a big point of contention for a lot of people. Many people want to argue that aspartame is completely safe, but aspartame is the world's most widely used artificial sweetener. It's marketed under many names like NutraSweet, Equal, there's one called Sugar Twin, and then AminoSweet. Aspartame is a synthetic chemical,
Low and
and it's
sweet.
composed of an amino acid, phenylalanine, and also aspartic acid with a methyl ester. When consumed, the methyl ester breaks down into methanol, which can actually be converted into formaldehyde. There's dozens of studies that have linked aspartame, which is, as I said, the world's most widely used artificial sweetener, to serious health problems, including cancer, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, seizures, stroke, dementia, and a lot of other really negative intestinal problems. It's also been associated with even headaches and mood disorders, and even beyond headache, migraines. We have to make sure that we're avoiding aspartame, in my opinion. Look, if you think it's something that's healthy for you, I guess go ahead and use it. Personally, me and anybody I'm making recommendations to, I would say avoid it. You also want to avoid another type of sweetener, which is very popular. It's called acylsulfame K or acylsulfame potassium. It's a chemical sweetener. Let's move on to a very prominent ingredient that you will find in a lot of foods, and it goes by BHT or BHA is what you'll see in the ingredient list. This is a petroleum derived chemical, and it's used to stabilize food. Chances are, if you've read labels.
All right, let me look at that. Bro, look at this. Too many ingredients, bro.
Yeah,
Too many
rice
ingredients.
glycerin, wheat flour, sodium, triphosphate, malted barley flour, chicken byproduct meal, mono and dicholine, phosphate, acid, calcium. That's all.
It's sorbic acid, bro.
You've come across
sorbic acid as a preservative, bro. Bro, we be in jail. Yo, this is criminal, man.
Yo, this is worse than even the bacteria. Like when they say, "Oh, we recalling something for listeria," and we recalling this for E. coli and all that. E. coli and listeria ain't got nothing on this. These chemicals, your body cannot get rid of this at all.
And this is
it's just complete chemical burns inside of your body.
And it's a concoction, bro, because it's different chemicals mixed together.
Chemical burns inside the body. Like this is literally poisoning us.
Right. You said rat poison? Hell yeah. This shit more than the rat poison. Shit, this is every kind of laboratory poison you could probably think of. Arsenic, it's all this shit be in the food, bro. All of it. Like
so they can keep it on the shelf longer, and also depopulation, because no way you're gonna keep adding more and more chemical. You gotta think about it. Most of these chemicals shouldn't even be interacting with each other.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a whole.
Y'all gotta understand what's happening now. This is all these synthetic chemicals reacting with the natural chemicals in our body, which are called hormones. See, you got synthetic. See, these are synthetic chemicals. These aren't because people say, well, all chemicals ain't bad because your body makes chemicals. Yeah, your body makes chemicals called hormones, and they are actually biological. You know what I mean? At the same time, but this is synthetic chemicals. This is like made from industrialized waste.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Right.
Bro.
This is like industrialized waste being turned into food. Like this is what we're trying to tell y'all. That's a big difference.
Right.
So we're actually consuming cancer.
This is and these every ingredient on here, it's its own toxin. So imagine mixing all that shit together, bro. Imagine mixing all them different toxins together. Man, that's basically a bomb inside your body.
Right.
So
when these synthetic chemicals react with your natural chemicals like insulin, it causes everything to go haywire. It causes your whole body to go haywire because these synthetic chemicals shouldn't be mixing with our natural chemicals, like dopamine, insulin. Those are chemicals that your body naturally makes. They shouldn't be introduced to these synthetic chemicals here. It's literally a death sentence. So like this is intentional. This is warfare. This is called chemical biological warfare.
Facts.
That's exactly what
If
this
you-
is called. I don't. There's nothing else it should be called but that. It's that.
All right.
Well,
read labels, you've come across it. Now, the BHT is a preservative that is found in foods such as cereals, gums, fast food, processed foods, drink mixes, shortening, snack foods, and a whole bunch of others. I mean, if you look at like chip bags and stuff, you're going to see BHT. This compound is also found in a lot of food packaging, animal feeds, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and rubber and plastic. Okay, so this is a very
Everything we use on a daily basis. That's why we're being bombarded with the toxins, because it's in everything that we use. Like you can't even escape the shit. Like everything you buy, every cosmetic product you use, every skincare product you use, every food you eat, it's all in there. So
this is what inspired us to create our products and to actually, you know, build a network with people with the same mindset. That's why we felt it was very important to get into natural products, because we know now it's a war out here. You gotta understand, these corporations are intentionally poisoning us at right now. Intentionally.
And our government is allowing them to do it. So
the government, this is depopulation. Because you gotta think about it, it's really concentrated into the black community. And into the you gotta understand that, because a lot of times in those cities where they keep us basically compounded in, we don't have access to foods that don't have these chemicals in it.
Yeah, you gotta
you gotta travel to get it. So they say when we go to the doctor, they say that we're genetically pre-exposed to these diseases because we're black and Hispanic and all that. But that's not true. It's just because we don't have access to whole foods.
Right.
What's happening is generations of people growing up eating these same chemicals and getting diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, and everything else in between.
Right. Yeah.
This is literally what, like, it's like nobody cares. Like this Davin Lewis dude just said, what's going on with Diddy? Diddy? You and your kids are being poisoned right now. You got kids walking around with diabetes now.
Yeah.
Kids
not only
in
that,
early teens,
getting cancer at an early age.
With diabetes.
And getting cancer at an early age.
And
you see a lot of younger people on dialysis.
Being born with cancer, bro. It ain't even getting cancer. Now it's called being born with cancer because our DNA is changing.
Right.
And it's becoming degraded because all these chemicals we bombarding our bodies with, and that these corporations is allowing in our food supply, water supply, and being in our land.
Airborne. Yeah, and it's all airborne. It's air too.
Yo, that's the type. Yo, I don't understand why. You know what it is? It's because the chemicals have affected our brain so much. I hate to say this, but a lot of us are dumbed down. A lot of us, you know what I mean? And I ain't just talking about just in our community, just the United States, period. Now, because the United States is the epicenter of all of this, like all this poisoning. We are the worst, and then you can sprinkle other nations in there like Canada, then the UK, but they still not as bad.
They're not allowing that stuff.
None of these places are still as bad as the United States. We are intentionally being poisoned in the United States more than any other country in the world. That's 100% truth, and we all know that, because everybody who comes from outside of this country, when they get here, they say the food tastes weird, the food tastes like chemicals. I get fat hair. I always have headaches when I go to America. I could never eat the food there.
They get sick.
When Americans travel out of America and go to other countries, we start to feel better within a week. Like, man, I can eat pasta now. I can't even eat pasta in the United States, but I can eat it over here in Europe. I can eat it in Italy. I can eat it in freaking Colombia and Costa Rica. But as soon as I get to the United States, when I start eating pasta or anything else, I start feeling sick. because you're being poisoned here in the United States, because we got a hell of a lot more chemicals in our food than any other country in the world, and not just our food, in everything.
It's
Like
in the product.
they're
It's in all the products.
intentionally killing Americans right now.
It's in
It's
all the
like
products.
intentional.
It's in all the products, man.
It's wild, man. We don't realize how many of us got cancer now. Like a lot of us, a lot of people's walking around with it and don't even know it, and it's because you're constantly re-exposing yourself to what's causing the cancer. Because they allow all these chemicals in everything.
Yeah, the chemicals just activates.
It's in everything, y'all. It's not a product out here that comes from the corporations that's not poison. There's no more clean products coming from major corporations. It's all poison. Like they don't care about the chemicals they put in our food, clothing, hair care, skin care, air, water. They don't care what chemicals they dump in. I mean, even the water that we bathe with,
America became the wasteland.
Water that we drink and bathe with got mad chemicals in it that humans shouldn't come in contact with.
America became basically
a dumping ground,
a wasteland. Yeah, became a toxic wasteland, a chemical wasteland, basically. And the thing about it is, they dumping it into the food. So you got to realize these chemical companies are contracted with the corporations. So when the contract is, listen, we need you to dump this amount we need you to get rid of this amount of chemicals, put it wherever, put it in the food, put it in the water. And a lot of this shit start happening after World War II. That's what happened. A lot of it they had a lot of stuff left over from World War II, and they was like, trying to figure out what can we do with it. So they was like, well, we turned the vegetable oil into cooking oil. Originally, that vegetable oil was used for machine parts, man.
The oil machine part.
It was used for machine
parts. Keep them lubricated.
Right. Used for machine parts, man.
Facts. So they had so much leftover surplus of so much of that vegetable oil and stuff that they were using to lubricate the machines in war, that they needed a way to get rid of it but still make the money off of it that they paid for. Exactly. So they decided to basically have us use it as food,
cook it,
and they was able to get it. They was able to get it through our government because they just paid them off.
You paid them off, lobby. Yeah, that's what I said. They lobby the politicians, man. Top politicians is gonna take the bread. They're gonna run with the bread. They're gonna sign anything into because all they doing is thinking about their families.
Well, a lot of them politicians is closely tied to some of them corporate owners though too.
Right.
Sometimes they be straight family members.
Yeah, family members or
sometimes they be cousins. They be cousins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They be cousins and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
it'd be old money. It'd be old money behind that. And it's like, we gotta keep these humans dumbed down.
Very dangerous chemical.
Facts. That's true. It's old money. Old money. It's crazy, bro. Like I said, we was using these ingredients, just the raw material of these ingredients in our food. We open up a restaurant with using these raw ingredients in there, we'd be in jail, bro. We would be in jail. So why is our government allowed to get away? Because the people is allowing them to get away with it. That's what's happening. And that's the thing is, more people that wake up to it, they're going to gravitate towards more natural products anyway, and it's going to make the corporations either clean up their products, or they just going to be out of business. Simple and plain.
Hopefully they're forced to clean up their products and get put out of business at the same time, because while they're going out of business, the products still need to be clean.
Right, exactly.
While they're going out of business.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody or they just need to go to jail. Because we, like you said, if we did it, if we made products and put all these poisons in there and fed it to our kids and whatnot, and our kids got sick from it, and they like, what you was putting in your kids' food for them to be that? Well, I'll put BHT in their food. BHT? What? You know what I mean? If we did that, we would go to jail. That's poison. You poisoned your child. Well, BHT is allowed in breakfast cereal, so why couldn't I cook with it?
They say, well,
We
it's
go
not
to
approved by
jail.
the FDA.
They should go to jail too.
Right.
You approving chemicals that's known to be carcinogenic to humans on a highest level,
Fact.
and you still out walking around free? That's mass genocide. Hey man, this is crazy to me.
Let's continue. Let's see what else is on the list.
In my opinion, but it's once again used to stabilize food and keep food from going bad, basically help food last longer on the shelf. BHA or BHA has been shown to induce allergic reactions in the skin. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies BHA as a possible human carcinogen. The European Commission on Endocrine Disruptors has also listed BHA as a category 1 priority substance. And it basically, they found that it's going to interfere with hormone function.
Why they ain't in jail?
Fair with hormone.
Why they ain't in jail?
You see
why
that?
Why they aren't in jail? Why? Why are they just allowed to do this? So they just allowed to poison the general population with no type of consequences.
People got to understand what this means when it says it interferes with hormone function. That hormones control every aspect of you. Your mood, the sugar in your body, you know what I'm saying? How much weight you lose or gain. Hormones are everything. These chemicals directly affect the hormones because your hormones are chemicals also, but they're biological chemicals. They're chemicals that belong inside of a biological organism. But these synthetic chemicals that they're being exposed to is disrupting your natural chemicals that's in your body, which causes all the problems that you niggas have today. That's the reason why you depressed, bipolar. They say what they say. You got a chemical imbalance. It's because you're being poisoned with synthetic chemicals. That's where the imbalance is coming from. Your body is infected with more synthetic chemicals than your own hormones. Your own hormones ain't able to produce natural hormones to run your body because it's being disrupted by the synthetic hormones.
Exactly.
They're killing us intentionally. That's what this means. If anybody can't understand what we're saying, this is an intentional chemical biological warfare. And it's on everybody. Even the people who will censor this video, you and your kids are being affected by this. Even the people at YouTube or everybody else that will censor this video, you are also being affected by this as well as your children.
Yeah, because they definitely gonna censor this video.
Facts. Not necessarily. Or if they do, oh well.
Oh well.
Because this information needs to go out because this is an active attack on all of us. It's active. It's happening right now. Like all these chemicals that we breathing in, and they saying we allergic to this and allergic to that. We're not, as humans, we're not allergic to anything on this planet. The only thing we're allergic to is synthetic chemicals. We ain't allergic to nothing naturally. We think we are, and the only reason why is because we've been altered genetically because these chemicals that we've been exposed to for years is affecting our DNA. So we can't tolerate certain natural foods that come with the planet. But you got to think about it. Our bodies came with this planet. Our physical bodies came with this planet. So why are we allergic to natural things? It's because either the natural thing has been altered or we have been altered or both. And that's what's been happening. All these chemicals have been altering our DNA for years. And when I say alter our DNA, it degrades it. So now that's what produces diseases when your DNA is being degraded. And it's being degraded by constantly getting bombarded with chemicals.
Yo, subscribe to our Rumble. Too. Hit that link and subscribe over there.
Peanut allergies and all this type of stuff.
Yeah, peanut allergies
can kill you.
Right.
It's because the peanuts most of the peanuts have been sprayed with something called glyphosate. And a lot of them are factory farmed and they're genetically modified. A genetically modified peanut, when it grows bacteria on it, the bacteria interacts with us and it kills us because it's genetically modified bacteria that your immune system have no idea how to deal with it. Your immune system, like, what the hell is this? It's a mutated bacteria because the peanut was altered genetically.
Yep.
at the seed. It was
Yep.
altered. So when it grows bacteria, that bacteria becomes lethal to us because our bodies don't naturally know how to deal with that type of bacteria.
Yeah, but Isaiah, don't leave out the part that the soil that it's being grown in is contaminated as well with lead and all types of different types of chemicals in the soil, because the soil is being sprayed as well. So it starts from the seed to the soil. You know what I'm saying? And in process through the lab and sold to us at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? So it's going through all these different hands, these different these different levels of processing before it gets to our table.
Right.
So, but this right. I'm gonna just be honest. This is what you get when you allow people to handle your food. When you give up your independence for convenience, you let these people feed you, and that's what happens when we let people feed us. They poison us. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, because we gave up our independence for convenience.
Bro, this is
that's
the most
happened.
important.
And the thing about it, we're born into it. We're born into it. So.
Yo, y'all gotta share this video. This is some of the most important information that needs to get out there, especially in our community, because we've been like the testing ground. We was ground zero for all these chemicals in the hood.
Right. Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? We were ground zero for all these chemicals in the hood.
Malt liquors, the
right.
candies,
the hug juices, all that shit that they've been feeding us specifically in the hood was the testing ground before they basically spread it out amongst everybody else. Same thing with the project buildings. Now, if you think about it, regular apartment buildings resemble project buildings now. Because they are. Because the project, that was just an experiment that they always use on the darkest individuals of the land first. They always test before they release everything to everybody else in the public. They love to test their experiments in African places and anywhere where there's indigenous people at, or because they need to use them because their DNA is closer to Earth as possible. So they need a clean testing slate when they do these experiments. So they like to go to the highly melanated person to start the experiment. But once they get that locked with them, then they start expanding it to every other culture. It's like these people don't even care. It's like these people are like these like aliens that's doing this. Like, because they don't even care if they get affected. And they release these things into the environment, like the genetically modified peanut and the genetically modified salmon. And they release this stuff and it contaminates everything. It contaminates the land, it contaminates the water. And if everything around us is contaminated, then we become contaminated. Our DNA is contaminated now. That's crazy. Like, and it's like they don't even care that they're being affected by this. That's the craziest part that I don't understand. That's the craziest part out of it.
Do cancer cells, does cancer cells care about healthy cancer cells? I mean, does cancer cells care about healthy cells? You got to look at it that way. Does cancer cells care about healthy cells? No.
Right.
They
take themselves out because after they get finished killing off the host, they usually just die off.
Yeah, they die off. Exactly.
Right. Because they basically took so much from the host that the host ain't got nothing left to give. And then once the host dies, the cancer dies. Also with it. With the host.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the craziest part. And that's what these individuals are. They operate like cancer in society.
Cancer cells.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Such as estrogen. Long-term exposure to BHT in mice was shown to cause their liver to become toxic along with their kidneys and their lungs. BHT can act as a tumor promoter in certain situations. Some evidence suggests that high doses can mimic estrogen, which we mentioned, and then it will affect obviously female hormones and then male hormones as well. And it could lead to even infertility. One of the things that's very interesting, and we see this a lot, where something
that women are taking in more estrogen and males are taking in more, you know what I'm saying? Because the chemicals is basically knocking everything off balance. You know what I mean? So basically you got some people out here that's saying you know, I ain't gonna personally, you know, I ain't gonna make no thing towards certain communities or whatever, but there's been tests shown that when a male take into now, I'm gonna just go ahead and leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone.
What happened?
I ain't gonna go there. Nah, because you know, tests been shown that through females taking in too much estrogen or whatever, it caused the body to alter, and but like I said, I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna just leave that one alone because I ain't trying to offend nobody. Yeah, I mean, nobody from no communities and nothing. I ain't trying to offend nobody, but so I'm just go ahead and leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone. That's
Thing is considered to be dangerous for an animal, but then it's considered to be completely fine for a human. And in the case of BHT, that is exactly what we find. Both the Protection of Marine Environment of Northeast Atlantic and the United Nations Environment Program list BHA as a chemical that is dangerous to marine life, but somehow it is completely safe for you. So let's move on from that one because I want to talk about artificial colorings. This is something that you see in many, especially children's food. A lot of the bright colored, vibrant foods that kids are attracted to, that's where you find a lot of your colorings. And in 2007, there was a study published in Lancet that examined the effects of artificial colorings in children. They found that consuming artificial colorings and preservatives increase hyperactivity in kids. Now, we're talking about kids specifically because, like I said, this is where you will find most artificial colorings. And when something starts with artificial, it's a pretty good indication that you should not be eating it because it's fake. I use the term fake foods. Well, that would be one of them because it is fake. It does not belong in your food. Published in the International Journal of Occupational and Environmental Health in 2012, there was a research paper by UCLA scientists, and they found that all of the 9 currently used approved food dyes in the US have concerning health problems to various degrees. Specifically, they noted that red 3 causes cancer in animals, and there's evidence that several other dyes are also a carcinogen. Red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6 have been found to be contaminated with benzidine or even other carcinogens, and at least 4 dyes, such as blue 1, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, cause hypersensitivity reactions. Look, if we wonder why kids are struggling with so many health issues, this would be one of the things that we should work on avoiding. Now, I want to talk about fluoride because this is always a point of
that red, that blue, yellow, all them different dyes in one goddamn packaging. So because you flip over the back of the packaging, it will have every last one of those dyes inside that packaging. Now you gotta, and each of those dyes are individual toxins themselves, individual chemicals themselves. So you mixing all those different chemicals together, right along with the other chemicals that they putting in the food as well. Do you understand what that's doing to them children? These children don't have no ADHD and all that's coming from the chemicals. You know what I mean? Attention disorders and all that's coming from the chemicals.
Babies being born with leukemia
coming from the chemicals.
You know what I'm saying?
Because our
DNA is degraded.
Right.
In order for your child to be born with some type of illness like that, it means your DNA is being affected, and that's environmental.
Exactly.
That's an environmental toxin.
Right. Impress. You know what I'm talking about. That's why I ain't really want to go too much into that. But you know the test that's been studied as far as like, how it's knocking off people's attacking people's hormone systems and altering their bodies.
That's basically the hormones that people take to become trans are the same chemicals they pumping in the food.
Right.
Yeah, we knew that. This is all about. See, they're getting us by attacking our hormones. Mm-hmm. Y'all gotta understand how important hormones. Anybody biologist in here? Anybody knows about anybody who knows about how the hormones and all that stuff operate in the body and how important they are to operate our whole entire body, everything. If they attacking that, they're attacking everything in our body, everything, because our hormones control everything in our body. Exactly. So that's why I say it's a chemical biological warfare. It's literally an attack on us. Y'all have to understand how serious this is. these chemicals are affecting our hormones in the most negative way that they can. Basically, it's like everything we're consuming and using is basically like taking lethal injection a little bit at a time.
Slow kill.
Right.
Slow death. Right.
But it's not even slow anymore. It's being accelerated. Because people are dying a lot younger, or they being on all these medications, which is causing more disruption. And they're living a short suffering life. Like people's already starting to look like they in their 30s and they be in their late teens.
Facts.
And it's from eating growing up on McDonald's and Burger Kings and all. I hate to name these companies, but these companies are the biggest culprits, because if you look at the ingredients of their food, why do a hamburger need to have 200 ingredients in it?
Or a chicken sandwich, right?
Why do a chicken sandwich have to have so many damn ingredients in it? It's just supposed to be chicken and bread. And when you make those ingredients, chicken is supposed to have chicken and seasoning. And the breading is just supposed to be bread, water, yeast, and flour. What's all this extra shit that you putting in there? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think about it. The sauces have 20 ingredients. The burger itself have 30 ingredients. You know what I mean? The bun have 150 ingredients. And it's like all these ingredients are all chemicals. Like, and they're chemicals that the body shouldn't even come in contact with at all. Like they say, you can't. Some of these things you can't get on your skin or ingest it, but it's in your food. Yeah, because some of these chemicals you're not even supposed to come in contact with it on your skin, and definitely not supposed to ingest it. And you're supposed to call what's the toxicology line, the poison. I've been poisoned line. If you come in contact with some of these chemicals, but they're in our food supply.
Exactly, makes no sense.
That's insane, y'all.
And they're using hazmat suits to even
hazmat suits to put some of these
chemicals. To even deal with these chemicals in the lab. They using hazmat suits. Like when you pull up them food companies,
this is crazy,
where they process a lot of these foods at, they be wearing hazmat suits and all that, bro.
Some of the chemical rooms, they do need to use hazmat suits.
Hazmat suits. So how are they using hazmat suits, but they putting it
for
in
your food
for human consumption? Like it don't make no damn sense.
Yo,
it doesn't make any sense. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to go to jail for it.
We done lost our damn minds.
Nobody has went to jail yet. In other countries, people have went to jail for this shit. Yeah, other countries, people that went to jail for this stuff. So why America just allow anything? Like we said, this is a wasteland. This became a wasteland. A chemical wasteland. It just makes no sense, man.
A nigga gotta wear a hazmat suit to prepare your food.
Yeah, a hazmat suit.
You know what I'm saying? That should tell you something right there.
Or a hazmat suit to make any skincare products or soaps and stuff that they make, that they use chemicals to put in. Yeah, they use hazmat suits and all that to deal with those chemicals. Because it can't even get on the skin.
This is insane. This is insane. Like, even when they go out there and they spray the potatoes with the stuff like Billy Boy Gates potatoes that he used for McDonald's. He owned all that farmland that when they spray the chemicals on the potatoes, they can't even walk in the field without a hazmat suit for a couple of days. They literally need to have a hazmat suit to spray the damn potatoes of what they spraying it with, because it kills you.
That don't make no sense.
So we're consuming agriculture that's sprayed with chemicals that you need a hazmat suit to wear.
That shit don't make no sense, bro.
That's insane to me, y'all. I don't understand how we allowing this to keep continuing to happen. These people are literally intentionally poisoning us now.
Nigga, America became Gotham City. Not New York City is not Gotham. Nigga, America is Gotham's goddamn city. The whole America is Gotham City, man. You know what I'm saying? And people just running them up. Our government's running them up. The people running them up. Like we said, the government is only corrupt as its people. If the people was righteous enough, then the government would be righteous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it only lasts for a little while before, you know, but yeah, the people, yeah, everybody's running amok, man. It's crazy out here. And like you said, when you being bombarded with a bunch of toxins constantly, then it's going to make you crazy. It is. It's going to make you crazy. Now we got to finish this video because I wanted to get into the next video with Mr. Henry Kissinger back in the 70s, weaponizing using food as a weapon. He actually wrote that in his memoirs of using food as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna definitely get into that. If y'all ain't smashed that like button yet, please smash that like button. Share this live stream if you can. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, this video is sponsored by nightandayherbals.com. 20% off over there on everything on the shop. Make sure y'all take advantage of that. And man, let's continue, bro.
Contention too. Many people
And we getting
say fluoride is completely healthy and is necessary for your teeth. Well, there's a study that was published in the Journal of JAMA Pediatrics, and basically what they found is that increased levels of fluoride exposure during pregnancy led to a decline in the IQ of the child when the child was born. Now, on the other hand, PubChem of the U.S. National Institute of Health's chemistry database considers fluoride a toxic chemical and lists numerous mental health effects that it can have on you, including things like disabilities, memory disorders, and also sleep disorders. So there's no reason to doubt that it's unhealthy for you. And one of the big arguments is that, well, we have healthier teeth if we use it. Well, there's no study that proves that countries that use fluoridated water.
Our ancients ain't used none of that shit. So why we think that using fluoride is going to make our teeth healthy? Why did they try to convince us that fluoride was going to make our teeth healthy? The ancients ain't have to use fluoride and none of that shit for their teeth. You know, when you eat good food, you won't have to worry about your teeth rotting and corroding or any, you know, it's from all the chemicals and the sugars that they putting in the food that's messing people's teeth up.
They think it's about just brushing. It's about nutrition too.
It's about the nutrition.
Yeah, because your teeth degrade from the inside out.
Yeah,
the cavities come from the inside out.
All right.
Yeah, it's a dentist that went around the world and studied ancient cultures and their nutrition. His name was Weston A. Price, and he basically associated diet with the health of people's teeth, because he noticed that indigenous people who stuck more to a natural diet had stronger teeth and stronger jawbone muscles.
Facts.
They had their face was developed better, and they had better, prettier and more healthier teeth with more enamel and more dense bone density in their face, because they stuck to a natural diet. They wasn't eating chemicals.
Yeah, so when you go to certain parts of Africa and people like, why don't people teeth are so white?
Not just Africa, all over, all indigenous peoples all over. South America. He went to South America. He went to some old Swedish village where these people were living up in the mountains, and they were eating only natural stuff.
They live strictly off the land.
Strictly off the land, 100%.
Nothing is packaged, none of that. All that shit is, they live straight off the land.
He said he didn't find one cavity, and this is a dentist. He didn't find one cavity, and he visited he went all around the world and visited different indigenous groups and actually did scientific research on all these indigenous groups and basically followed their diet and all that, and you know, basically did questionnaires and then examined their mouth and examined the health of their teeth and everything. Right. And he said he didn't find one cavity. And these people didn't eat no processed foods at all. They ate everything from the land.
Everything's off the land.
Some cultures ate majority of meat. Some cultures ate more vegetables. Some cultures ate a mixture of both. And some cultures lived strictly off of cheese and dairy from their animals.
And they still
had better. Yep, they still had better teeth than most Americans and most modern people today. Is because they wasn't exposed to nothing processed.
Right.
That's why people, when people say eat whole foods and no processed, ultra processed foods, that's the only way you're gonna have a healthy body, period. Because everything else they poison and altered in some type of way that our bodies just don't recognize.
Damn sure don't.
Our bodies just don't recognize it.
And like we said, it has nowhere to go, so it stores in our organs and our joints. That's why a lot of people walk around with back pains, knee pains, and it's not because just natural pains or anything. That's come from because the chemicals is being stored in your joints and in your organs. They don't know what to do with it. It's not. They don't get rid of it. It doesn't get rid of it. So imagine this stuff just building up in your body constantly, and you have no way to get rid of it.
You do have a way to get rid of it. It's stuff that you can do. First
Well,
of all, you gotta try to lessen your exposure to it by eating whole foods and finding cleaner sources of this and cleaner sources of that. When I say cleaner sources, make sure it don't have chemicals, industrialized chemicals, or any chemicals in it. You gotta buy stuff whole food, and then you go to farmers markets so you can ask the people there what type of process they use on their food. Yeah, I mean, you can ask. So you can't do that in a grocery store, but you could do that when you go to a farmer's market. And a lot of people have farmers markets going on all around them all the time. They just not conscious of it. You just got to look up in your area and see when you have a farmer's market going on, and then go to the farmer's market and buy your fruits and vegetables and your meats. And then you can ask the farmers themselves, do you spray any chemicals? Do you do this? Do you do that? If they say no, I mean, you straight game.
Let me go to
and a lot of local ones don't unless they work with the industrialized food plants. But a lot of local ones don't use all those chemicals because they don't need to. Because they're not supplying as many people as the corporate people are. So they don't need to use stuff to fatten their animals up and spray this so stuff could grow faster, because their market isn't as big as the corporations who need to fatten their cows up real fast, fatten their chickens up and their turkeys up to get ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So they got to inject them with some chemicals to fatten them up. And they say, oh, no, it's just water and salt that they inject them with to fatten them up. No, they use hormones too. Even though they claim they don't, they do, because there's loopholes. There's loopholes. They use hormones to fatten those animals up, and they're synthetic hormones that the human consume, and it messes up our hormones. And that's with fruits, vegetables, and meats. So they don't care if you vegan or you just eat meat. The hormones affect the animals and the agriculture, but it affects the animals less when you consume the animal. But on the fruits and vegetables, it's fair game. Them Jones soak them
water versus those
it soaks them chemicals up like nothing. Fruits and vegetables soak those chemicals up like nothing.
I dropped the link for eatwilds.com for you to find a farmers market in your area. It's a directory. It's a farmers market directory where you can find clean sources of meat and find clean sources of vegetables and fruits, whatever, in your area. It's a whole directory.
Eatwild.com.
Eatwilds.com. I dropped the link in the
we're not sponsored by them or nothing.
Nah. Hell no, we ain't sponsored by them.
Yeah, this is it. Nope.
But if you need,
I don't even know who owned the website, but it's a good resource.
Yeah, but it's definitely a resource to use to find local farmers markets in your area.
And Google will do the same thing for you. You could Google it now.
Yeah. Right. Farmers markets near me. That's it. Yeah, y'all see a lot of the food recalls that's happening in America. Why is these corporations recalling all this damn food back?
Right.
Because it's making people sick.
Yeah, it's getting people sick.
It's making people sick.
And the thing is, this is the crazy part. They got you scared of one thing and running towards the other. See, they got people scared of the bacteria that we've been exposed to for millions of years, like E. coli and all that type of stuff. We running from E. coli and salmonella. That stuff we've been exposed to for thousands and thousands of years. But these industrialized chemicals, we've been introduced to this just in the last 100, 200 years.
Yeah, when they
I mean, we ain't even have a lot of these chemicals. It didn't even exist 50 years ago. Some of these chemicals, you know what I'm saying? And they're more lethal than ever. Like your body, once it gets rid of E. coli, it's a tough. Nobody want to have E. coli poisoning and all that. Nobody wants to have that. That's extremely bad and it's dangerous to old folks and children. But if you got a healthy immune system, you can somewhat combat E. coli and salmonella. Your body cannot combat these chemicals naturally. You know what I'm saying? The chemicals are a lot worse because they do long-term damage. You don't get cancer from E. coli and salmonella. You just get a really bad stomach flu. You throw up. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is you dehydrate and then your organs shut down. You know what I'm saying? Like if under those circumstances. But when you're being poisoned with these chemicals, that is long-term damage on your major organs. That's the heart attack. That's the stroke. That's the high blood pressure. That's the diabetes. That's those chemicals, y'all. It ain't nothing else. Because you can't blame it on the foods because we've been eating these foods for millions of years. Let thy food be thy medicine.
So let me put y'all on something.
So it's the chemicals that's in it.
It's one big hustle and they all part of the same system.
Fact.
Because if you keep people sick, then it keeps the big pharma in business. So big pharma is only there to basically, to hustle the drugs that's put there by the chemicals. See, they all part of the same. Most of them are the same shareholders anyway. You know what I'm saying? In the chemical companies and these food corporations, they all part of the same. Be the same shareholders. So if they got one big scheme going, keep people sick so we can keep. It's the problem reaction solution theory. They create the problem, they get us to react to it, and then they come with the solution. So a lot of these corporations are tied in with big pharma 1000%. Keep the people sick. We could keep providing the drug that they think they need. They bombard us with billions of dollars worth of commercials that promote these drugs. Oh, it helps you with this. Oh, it helps you with that. And you got to realize even those drugs that the big pharma is producing has chemicals in it as well.
Ozempic.
They put like a little bit of the medicine in there, and the rest be just all chemical fillers. So it's all one big hustle anyway. Our government is tied up in it. You know what I'm saying?
Because it makes a lot of money and it causes a lot of fear. Because fear is what controls society, and those things is what, and they got you running towards the things that you're scared of. That's the trickery of it all. That's the magician's trick. They scare you with things that's not, you ain't no threat of until they come with the solution, and their solutions is usually the threat. It's reverse psychology. They scare you with something that really ain't going to get you if you don't pay no attention to it. But once you pay attention to it, you know what I mean? They got the solution there, and the solution is usually what's going to cause the problem that you're trying to run from. You get what we saying?
Problem, reaction, solution.
Mm-hmm.
Same hustle.
It's insane.
That's the pyramid scheme. Problem,
that is a scheme. Solution. That's a scheme.
Hold on. We come with the
chemical. Share this video. Y'all have to like this video and share this video.
All right, let's continue.
Your teeth. That doesn't exist. The story goes is that there was funding by companies, large corporations that were trying to get rid of this toxic chemical, and they basically came up with sham studies to prove that it was going to improve your dental health. And so that's kind of how that whole thing started. But at the end of the day, it's a neurotoxin.
That's not all the chemical companies work, though. That's how they all work. Not just, the fluoride chemical company. That's how they all work. Like I said earlier, a lot of these chemical companies is in contract with these food corporations. You know what I'm saying? So that they go hand in hand, and they're still tied in with big pharma as well. So let's continue.
Harvard School of Public Health and China's Medical University performed a joint analysis in 27 studies on the effects of fluoride, and the researchers found a strong correlation between fluoride and adverse effects on brain development. Fluoride, especially when added to drinking water, nearly doubles the risk of developing hypothyroidism or an underactive thyroid. So the reason for this is because fluoride is going to bind to the iodine receptors in your thyroid, and it's going to displace iodine, causing issues for you. So completely unhealthy, and I don't think it should be approved by the FDA for one, and it definitely shouldn't be in our drinking water. Now, artificial flavorings is another thing. So we talk about artificial colorings. We said if something starts with artificial, you should really avoid it. Well, artificial flavorings is an umbrella term that encompasses 700 different synthetic chemicals, many of which are considered to be harmful to consume. But according to the FDA's code of the Federal Regulations, Title 21, processed food manufacturers aren't even required to identify these ubiquitous compounds in the product's label. There you have it. These are the toxic ingredients that the FDA approves to be completely healthy in your food. I recommend avoiding them at all costs, and I don't think that you should be eating them. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and if you like this video, check out this one next.
All right, so that's Dr. Nick Zarowski YouTube page. FDA approved toxic foods, avoid these. So if y'all
That's a lot, and that's just only a small percentage of how many poisons are actually. He only just named 10.
Yeah.
They said it's over 10,000.
He'd be there all day. He'd be
there all day naming. That's how bad we're being poisoned now. So this is alarming. Like, we are all walking around sick. Everybody. You know what I mean? Because it's so many toxins in the environment that's synthetic that these corporations are doing, and we just letting them get away with it. And they poisoning themselves.
I don't think they care. Yeah, they don't care about that,
bro. They're poisoning. They don't even care that they're poisoning themselves, bro.
Like I said, do cancer cells care about healthy cells?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane to me.
Like we said, government ties into it, big pharma ties into it, chemical companies ties into it, and big in food corporations tie. They all in bed together, working against the general population.
That sounds like some type of depopulation agenda.
Get it? That's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
I mean, they do TED Talks on it all the time about how the world being overpopulated. This guy right here, Henry Kissinger.
Sound like depopulation.
David Rockefeller had a whole lecture thing over there at the Rockefeller Center. Remember he was talking about depopulation?
Oh, you're talking about the United Nations when he addressed the United Nations?
Addressing the United Nations, right.
Yeah, he was talking about population control there.
Population control, right.
He was trying to say, but do it in a way that's, humane.
All right.
But how could you do population control in a way that's humane?
Right.
Or I guess they said, screw those plans. We just going to just poison everybody.
Right.
I mean, and I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know who approved of that, but I guess they participated themselves in the experiment also in their own families.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yo, smash that like button if you ain't hit that like button yet.
Yo, that's what they call them, mad scientists.
Yeah,
that's where they get that phrase from, because these mad scientists, they experiment on anybody and everybody just to get results. Absolutely. They don't even care. They don't care who it poisons. They can poison themselves as long as it gets results.
Absolutely. Fact. Let's continue. All right, we got to get into this video right here, man. Got to get into this video right here. Put together by Infowars.com. Alex Jones talking about Henry Kissinger. And that's who he's brought up earlier when Henry Kissinger back in the 70s. I think it was 78 where he said in his memoirs about weaponizing the food, using food as a weapon. So let's go ahead and get into this, man.
Henry Kissinger, the known war criminal, was Secretary of State in the Richard Milhous Nixon administration. And he authored National Security Study Memorandum 200 that remained classified for several decades. In that memorandum, now publicly available, they talk about using food as a weapon and as a tool of social control. Not a new idea. The Romans had carried it out, so the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the ancient Chinese. It's known as siege, control of food, control of water, you control a population. But his aim wasn't just to use it for control. His aim was to use it for depopulation, to ship the West toxic waste to the third world. That was just one of the sickening ideas in the declassified portion of this memorandum. Fast forward to 1992 in the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro. There, globally, we saw the planet codify a plan to not push for expanding human wealth and expanding human success and expanding the living standard, but to reducing it and setting up a society based on making the people poor and setting up a global structure where having children is next to near impossible. That is the world we live in. If you go back to 2007, the British Ministry of Defense came out and echoed a Department of Defense report from here in the US saying that beginning in the year 2016, right through 2020 to 2030, that they believe there would be massive multi-100% food price increases worldwide. And that during that global meltdown, that there would be incredible social unrest that would depopulate much of the earth. Now, in 2016, Vice magazine and other publications are reporting on a 2015 report produced by the U.S. government, the UN, and scores of foreign nations, as well as the State Department, overseen by food giant Cargill, the World Bank, and most importantly, the World Wildlife Fund. The World Wildlife Fund is a eugenics anti-human organization set up by Prince Bernhard, who also founded the Bilderberg Group and who was a Nazi officer. He was also cousins and best friends with Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth's husband, who says he'd like to come back to the earth as a virus to kill 80% of the population. He also doesn't believe that Africans are people. This organization sells environmentalism to make the elite look like heroes saving the earth, when in truth, they are ushering in a planetary tyranny that is irrevocably damaging the fabric of our planet. In this new FEMA report, with headline, FEMA contractor predicts social unrest caused by 395% food price spikes, you learn that this is a report filed with governments and major institutions overseen by a contractor that since the 1940s has been the main advisor.
Told you, a lot of these chemical companies been around since World War II. That's what we're trying to tell y'all. A lot of these food corporations, a lot of these chemical companies contracted these food corporations to start putting it in food. And this goes back.
That's why we said. That's why we said. That's why we were saying it goes back even further, like 200 years.
200
these
years.
Industrialized chemicals started slipping into our food supply.
Yep.
But it started getting worse. It started getting worse over the years. And right now it's at its tipping point.
Yeah, it's like at boiling point.
Yeah, everybody's walking around with headaches. Everybody walking around with blood pressure and all this type of stuff off the charts. Because
even the makers themselves, right? Even the corporations themselves, sick as hell.
Right. It's crazy.
Come on now. This is crazy.
They fell into like they created so many traps that they fell into their own traps.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you can't poison a planet without poisoning yourself. You know what I'm saying? It just can't do it.
And what's the real solution to this? Sticking to nature as much as possible in all your choices. Your food choices, especially, you know what I'm saying, and everything else, the stuff you put on your body and in your body, it has to be natural. It can't be altered in no type of way, and it can't be sprayed with no type of chemicals. That's why we say stick to single ingredient foods, unprocessed as much as possible, and absolutely no ultra processed foods. Anything that comes in a package that's already prepackaged. That's why we said the hood is targeted more than other areas, because it's hard to find fresh food in the hood. And that's where majority of dark-skinned folks live. So that's why they say that black and Hispanics have higher blood pressure and high diabetes. It ain't because of our genetics. They try to tell you it's your genetics, but really it's because the area you grew up in don't have access to fresh food and don't make fresh food choices. Good choices. You just don't make healthy choices at all. And healthy choices meaning that the food is not ultra processed and it's not sprayed with chemicals.
All right. Serenity
single ingredient foods. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna buy the chicken from a farmer that you can trust, that you and more so local they are, the better, because local market is not as big as the corporate market, so they won't inject all them chemicals into their chickens to fatten them up, because they won't need to.
Right.
Because their demand isn't as high as the corporation's demand. So the corporations have to use little poisonous tactics to beef their stuff up real quick so they can have it ready for their big market that they got out there. So you have to keep that in mind intellectually also. You have to keep that in mind. So when you go to the local farmer for your food, it's a lot less likely that it's sprayed with chemicals and injected with stuff.
Oh, I forgot to tie one more entity into this. I said government. I said food corporations. I said government, food corporations, chemical corporations. We can't leave out the networks, because that's where they're promoting most of it through the networks anyway. So the networks is tied into it as well.
Everything, social media too.
Yes, it's all tied in. It's all
tied in. Yeah, everything is tied. Any type of advertisement anywhere is tied into it.
So,
and it's a shame what we allowing to happen, because this is literally mass genocide if you really look at it in its proper perspective.
And a lot of it's covered up by shell companies anyway. So they use shell company to hide out other companies as well too. So it might be one name presented to us, but then it'd be like a bigger corporation that owns that corporation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a bunch of shell companies to cover up the main company. You know what I'm saying? So they've been doing this to us, man. And we allowing them to do it.
We just you gotta vote with your dollars. I mean, I guess it's a mindset that comes with it, because the people can naturally bankrupt these companies within a couple days. If majority of people just woke up to the fact that, I don't want to be poisoned by them anymore, and they like, all right, let me go to my local farmers, and start shopping with them more and building a relationship with local farmers more that produce food. You know what I mean? That would naturally bankrupt these big corporations. They wouldn't have a choice but to try to clean their act up just so they could compete.
And that alone will boost the economy back up and put more.
And that's real capitalism. That's true capitalism. People got a problem with capitalism, but that's capitalism in a free market. What people, the type of capitalism people have a problem with is the crony capitalism. It's when they got their buddies in there in legal and political positions to be able to make the laws better for them and their people with their corporation.
Creating a whole organization.
That's called crony capitalism. But in a free market, things will work themselves out, because people will naturally go to where the good food is at.
Exactly.
People will naturally go to where the good product is at if it's a free market, if it's not being manipulated. Right. That's what true capitalism is. And basically you get paid. Entrepreneurial type of mindset should definitely be capitalist in that mindset, because you get paid for how good your work is, and you can actually become your own boss in a free capitalist society. But what we've been witnessing is called crony capitalism, when they buddies rush the political seats, and then you like, look, you are cousins, you make sure you get into politics. And we your cousins, and we gonna get into the corporation. And then when we build this shit up, then later on we gonna come together and make the laws, and you make the laws where it's easier for us to make our money.
Pretty much.
That's called crony capitalism. That's not real capitalism in a free market. That's how they confuse y'all, because they always present a tainted version of something and say that's bad.
Right.
That's what the system does. It presents a tainted, distorted version, and that's what they did with even other stuff like religion and all that. They always take it and make it like glamorized. Then they package it up, and then they present a distorted image to society, and society eats it right up, and then it always leads into illness or disease or deficit.
Disease,
it always leads to a deficit 100% of the time. That's basically being spiritually bamboozled, physically bamboozled, and mentally bamboozled. You're being bamboozled on three different levels. Bamboozled on 3 different levels. And we all gotta wake up to this.
Facts. Hit that like button, y'all. If you're just coming and tuning in, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's continue. We got more to cover. Let's continue.
For the U.S. Navy Marine Corps,
The game itself created an opportunity to live into the future. It caused people to think through what the possibilities are. And in that process, I think they realized what they have to start to do today to prepare for that future.
The challenges and crises that we were assigned are exactly what we expect to see in the future. So you've got famine, you've got increased pests, you've got the role of climate change in the world.
It's a world where it's getting hotter and it's getting drier. We're also seeing increased social unrest because of the volatility in the food system.
Food prices are going up 400%. We've got a flood of migrants coming in. The world is starting to fall apart.
Everything we do is going to have some negative effect.
We are going to have a pretty hard world to live in.
The new normal is volatility.
You need to read the report and the articles about the report for yourself, because it fits in to the Defense Department report now from about 9 years ago, and to the British report, where they're acting like, oh, this is terrible, but we believe this is coming from all of our experts. But the experts are the eugenicists at Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and other major institutions that have been admittedly artificially jacking up food prices worldwide, financing the Arab Spring, financing other revolutions to consolidate control. Everywhere, whether it's Venezuela or Brazil, or whether it is areas of Spain or Greece or Italy, central banks, private banks are installing presidents and prime ministers. They're threatening an EU military to take over 8 nations. They're trying to leave the euro, who never even voted to enter it. We are seeing an iron curtain of tyranny descend, and it's the globalists that have been orchestrating a financial world meltdown that is triggered by a food meltdown. There are major studies you can look into that when 50% of someone's paycheck or a family's earnings each month goes towards food, civil unrest, riots, and destabilization are triggered. If you look back at major university studies that have analyzed from the public records what happened during the 10-year depression from 1929 until about 1939 or 1940, 7 million Americans starved to death or died from complications resulting from malnutrition. To be clear, upwards of 90% of the American population in the Great Depression lived in rural areas, and more than half of them were self-sufficient. Today, only 10% live in rural. We're 90% urban, and only half of the rural population is estimated to be self-sufficient. That is 5% of the population. Think about it. 7 million dead with more than half self-sufficient. What's going to happen when only 5% are self-sufficient? And in this report put out by the World Bank and the State Department, they talk about societal collapse due to this problem, from crop failure to system failure. But they're the ones managing the crisis that they've helped create. They're the ones that think they're going to ride this tiger to burn down society and have a global fund set up like the Marshall Plan after this meltdown and after the depopulation to basically control planetary development. All of their world government projects have been failing over and over and over again. They can't democratically get it done. England just left the euro or began the process because they never voted to enter it. It's unelected. The globalists that run it are tax exempt. The EU Parliament is ceremonial. And the people of England across the political spectrum.
That's because we don't even got to listen anymore what Jones is saying. That's because the shit is unrealistic. They can't take over the world the way that they want to. All it's going to do is just send us into post-apocalyptic times, and then we're going to have to reset everything, and majority of people is going to die.
So that's
that's all that's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's
because
been done
you
over and over.
Think about it. They're trying to consolidate everything in the world into one space so they can own it all and control it all. That's not even possible on planet Earth.
That's never happened, and it never will. That never happened throughout history. Not one group or one person ever took over the planet.
That's not even realistic.
Not even realistic. Hell no. That's never happened and never will happen. Now they might be able to take and control certain areas, but they can't take over the entire planet. And even when they do, it's for a short term anyway. It's short lived anyway. All they plan to do is
completely unrealistic.
Yeah, all their plans is short lived. That's it.
And the reason why is because people wake up.
Exactly.
Because it's just too many people. And people are starting to wake up because everybody's sensing that danger in the air. Everybody's starting to come to a kind like, damn, if we don't get ourselves together, the whole human race is about to be wiped out. And we're doing it to ourselves. So it's like something is waking up in us so the human race don't go extinct from our own retardation. Because that's what it is. We're slow. Because we're allowing these individuals in charge who's literally poisoning themselves just to control us. They will go so far to poison themselves to even control us. And we allowing that small percentage of individuals to run all the industries on the planet, eventually that's not a
Yeah, that's
a
not gonna.
solid
Yeah,
foundation.
nah, that's
That's
not.
going to
That's not.
crumble,
Yeah, that's
and it
not.
is crumbling.
It's short lived. Yeah, that's not going.
That's why Jones just said all their government projects, world government projects, are crumbling. It's because the jig is up. So now they got to try to create something to fool people again. And we know what that is. That's that new financial system that's coming.
Yep.
And the thing is, they sort of panicking with that because they need to depopulate, because their plan that they have to get people hooked to this digital currency and this artificial intelligence and these humanoid robots handling everything in society. And the thing is, you don't need a lot of humans on the planet for that, because they get rid of a lot of jobs that humans used to do. So that's another reason why they want to depopulate, because they're like, well, we don't even need most of these humans anymore because AI and robots can do all these jobs. And then with that concept, that means everything on the planet has the ability to be free.
Yeah.
Which means you wouldn't have to pay for anything. So they're like, everybody don't deserve that. So we gotta depopulate these people. And the thing is, they like, we in our systems ain't even big enough to even be able to run billions of people through AI. It'll overload the system. So we gotta depopulate if we want this system to go where we want it to go. That's their mindset. Because they got it all lined up, and they like, the only problem is there's too many people.
Fact.
And if you understood how AI and all that stuff is about to come into effect, that means they won't need humans. They got AI ran restaurants and supermarkets where a human don't have to be in sight for it to operate. That'll completely get rid of restaurants. That will completely get rid of how shopping is done. That'll completely get rid of all of that, everything. Because humans won't be doing any of that stuff anymore. It'll be all on an automated system. So that means you don't. What you need a workforce for when you got a bunch of robots doing it.
Exactly.
And it's more efficient than when a human do it. You get what we saying?
And like I said,
they don't need you niggas no more. That's why all the poison is in everything.
Facts.
Because a lot of us ain't going
go.
for their new system that they want.
There you go. That's why.
That's why they put. That's why I say you ain't even got to play Jones no more. Right. That nigga. Turn that up. Look, nigga. Listen. What they got coming, they don't want everybody to be a part of, because they figured it out with this AI, this blockchain, and everything else. They realized that majority of these human jobs are not needed anymore. So they like, we don't need y'all niggas anymore. Do y'all understand? That's what it's all leading up to. They got laboratories right now that's not even ran by humans anymore. And then they show it in certain movies. They show how the AI is starting to run laboratories and all this type of stuff.
No, they ain't got to show it in movies. They can pull up videos now that show you that.
Right. But majority of people only think that it's just the movies.
Yeah,
that's
but
the point.
Yeah, the movies are just
commercial. That's where people get in it, and then some people will think that it's just a movie, and you like, nah, that's not just a movie. They actually got labs like that.
Nah, movies are just commercials for the agenda. I always express that to people.
There it is.
That Hollywood is ran by CIA anyway, so Hollywood is only produce movies that push the agenda. So, like I said, these movies that you see, like The Matrix, Terminators, and all these other movies that everyone is, crazy about. These are nothing but commercials for the agenda. That's it. That's all it is. I mean, y'all
gotta hear the truth from somewhere. They don't need majority of humanity anymore.
Nah.
They like, if we could get rid of 80% of people, that'd be good for the planet, and then we'd be able to restart over in this digital world. where everything is ran by AI. That's their mindset.
That's their plan. That's their plan.
That's their mindset.
It's not going to work out in their favor 1,000% that they think it is. It's not, because humans, first of all, humans are not meant to be controlled. Like souls are not meant to be controlled. You know what I mean? So people naturally going to rebel against it anyway. That's why we always have a rebellions. We always have when we, governments, they do a lot of push. But you all, on the flip side of that, you always have the rebellion. It's always a rebel. It's always a rebellion.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the problem they keep running into. They keep realizing they can't kill that many people without killing themselves, without exterminating everybody.
Exactly.
That's the problem that they keep running into. That's why they can't do it. They're going to keep running into that problem. You can't kill off 80% of the population and guarantee you don't kill off yourself and everybody else who's supposed to be part of the plan.
I don't care how many.
It don't work like that.
Well, let me get this straight. I don't care how many underground bunkers you think you're going to build.
Yeah, that ain't going to work.
It's not going to work.
Nah, that ain't.
I don't care how many underground bunkers you think you can build.
Yeah, that shit don't work, bro.
It ain't gonna work. Because that's what they be doing. They trying to build these bunkers and shit, and you're not gonna be able to hide out in that. Trust me.
See, we bring a reality all the way to the top 1% who think they control everything, and we talking to the niggas at the way bottom of the pyramid. We talking and everybody in between when we talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gotta bring reality to everybody right now. Like, I think that's what the world need, a reality check. So the 1% that think y'all control everything and all that, you need a reality check. It's not possible. This planet wasn't built like that. There's natural mechanisms that's built into the energetic frequency of this planet for it not to be taken over by anybody. It's everybody's, but it's nobody's. This turf always been like that. So that's a reality check for the top. The reality check to the bottom, y'all niggas need to wake up. They poisoning y'all. They mad scientists. They poison themselves to poison you. Stop believing in their system. Wake up. Start being more independent. Start thinking independently of the system you were born in. You know what I mean? And start building community based off of that. And just be more aware of what's going on around you. And stop listening to the mainstream media all the time because it's all propaganda. So the top could keep they little what they got. But that's not even going to last that long because it's built off of, it's just not built. It's not built off integrity and it's not built into stone. It's a shaky foundation because they don't understand the mechanics of this planet and the realm that we in.
Yeah, I know it is built into.
That's why referees exist.
It is planet is nature itself. You know what I'm saying?
It's because duality is built into this planet. That's why referees exist.
Life is the ultimate checker, so it don't matter what the fuck they do. Life, it's all going to balance itself out anyway.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's all going to balance itself out anyway.
Because that's the rules of this plane of existence we're in.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are the rules that's embedded into the coding, of our existence on this plane of existence, on this specific plane of existence of duality.
Duality, bro.
It's never going to be taken over. It's just it can't happen here because it's built energetically built into the frequency of the planet.
It's never going to be one-sided.
Yeah. So that I guess some niggas gotta even give the top 1% a reality check. And reality checks need to go from the top all the way down to the bottom, from the bottom all the way up to the damn top, and including myself. Everything. What's that shit? Don't what the niggas say? What the Qs say? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because not knowing the true knowledge is bad for your health.
I tell you what, life is going. All that shit's going to balance out.
Oh yeah.
So it don't matter any type of arrogance and ego. That's just going to be put in check anyway.
Yep, kicked right the hell out of the window.
Yeah, that ego.
All of it
put in check anyway because this place is based off of balance. It's never one-sided.
We all need reality checks. All of them.
Hell yeah.
Constantly, we need because reality checks is what leads to health, good health.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think about it. The delusion is part of the toxicity. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the toxicity and not dealing with the actual root of the problem. So reality checks are needed to keep things in balance. And if you don't do it, the planet will do it.
Yeah, the planet.
And when the planet do it,
it's a harder lesson.
It's a harder lesson.
It's a harder lesson you're gonna have to learn.
With the energetic, the energy of the planet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These individuals who think they can take over Earth through industries and corporations and government and politics and think they're gonna have their way without any consequences is straight up delusional. I mean, the plagues of the energetic plagues that come with that is unbearable. So that's the reality check that I'm supposed to tell them. Because that's a reality check that they need to see, because it's only going to get worse from here. And then all the rest of us, why are we letting them control us with this toxicity? Why are we continuing it? A lot of us who are woke to this. The old system is done. The old system was all of it was oppression.
They're not getting away with it though. That's the thing. It seems that way because we don't, father in the spiritual part of this thing, but they're not getting away with it.
That's the point that I'm making. You can't. It's impossible.
Yeah, like
it's embedded into the energetic frequency of this planet. No one owns this place.
You're not getting it right.
But it belongs to everybody. That's the whole concept of Earth and duality. That's why referees exist.
Right.
That's what referees display. Duality, but it's a duality in a way that keep things on the field.
Playing field, right?
Keep the playing field regulated.
Balanced on the playing field.
Right. Balanced on it. That's the whole concept of a referee. That's why they dress in black and white. That's Earth.
Facts. Black and white.
I guess some people have to be some souls have to be reminded of that. It don't work that way. and you don't even have to do nothing because the energy of the planet does it. Yeah, the energetic frequency. That's why some people have to wake up, because part of that energetic frequency that prevents that from happening are the people that's inhabiting the planet.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's another whole live stream, bro. Actually, it's not.
I know it's not.
It ties right into this whole poisoning us and depopulation thing. But it's not. It don't work that way. Earth don't work that way.
It's already a natural system that's built in to balance all that out. That's why we have life and death.
Reality checks.
Yeah, we have life and death.
We need these reality checks.
Because first of all, when you're born into this, you're already at a deficit anyway, because you got to take away from something else to live.
To live here, right.
So it's balancing itself out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't need humans to consciously help it along.
Right.
We just supposed to live our life in our highest truth authentically, and as long as it ain't hurting nobody, as long as it ain't hurting your neighbor.
Exactly.
That's the true freedom we have here. Yeah, and that's how it's going to be.
That's how it is, and that's how it's going to be.
Facts. That's just how it is, y'all. I mean, that's the reality of this. That's the reality that they need to face, and this is the reality all the rest of us need to face. We can't keep letting these wicked individuals control our lives like this, especially when we know better now. There's too much information out here for people not to know.
I mean, you walking around with the information in your pocket all day.
Yo, right. So there's gonna be some disciplinary actions for the
ignorant.
For the ignorance. Yep. And it's coming to a head now.
It's already balancing itself out now.
Facts.
It's people suffering because they ignorant.
Because the ignorance, yep. People are destroyed because of
Humanity,
lack of wisdom.
I can't even say that.
And lack of knowledge.
Humanity is suffering because of the ignorance.
Right.
And we basically be handed over to our delusions.
Yep. Reality checks are needed.
So my people will suffer for the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And wisdom.
And wisdom. Facts.
So that the planet is suffering because it's the lack of knowledge and the lack of wisdom.
Facts. Yeah, because even if you got the knowledge, you got to apply it. That's the wisdom.
Yep.
That makes you wise for applying the knowledge that
My bad, my people will perish because of the lack of knowledge.
Perish and destroy is the same damn thing in that context.
Right.
It don't matter if it said destroyed or whatever.
Or perish. Yeah.
Or perish. It's the same thing.
Same.
It brings destruction.
Same context, yep.
And then you basically go hidden from the light. That's what ignorance is. You're in the darkness.
But like you said, it's up to the individual whether they desire to know the knowledge to do. You know what I mean, to want to better themselves. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it, because it's up to the individual first. Starts with yourself first. So,
and they built a community based off of ignorance. Like, you gotta think about it. The black folk in America, our community, it's artificial. That's why they say the black folk in America don't have no real identity, because and our identity is tied to basically things that was put before us with the corporations.
Consumerism.
Our
identity is based off consumerism.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a false. So we worst off because that's the false identity.
Yep.
And it's a programmed one. Basically, we're born to be insecure unless we have all the things that consumerism wants us to have.
Yeah. That's a false system, bro.
That's a false reality.
That's a false reality. Hell yeah.
And you can see a lot of us who are ignorant in that sense, you can see the ignorance coming out, radiating out of them when they can't like really, you see them like living with their parents and stuff, and they got like Balenciaga on and
shit like that. Right?
Yeah, like that you start to see that ignorance shines. Like, all right, the consumerism is getting you because you can't afford to other things, but you got Balenciaga on, or you got the latest phone that costs the most money.
But I am starting to see a lot of people wake up.
Healthy food in your fridge.
All right, I am
that nourishes your body.
Wake up though. A lot of people are waking up and they're starting to make their own shit.
Right.
They realize these brands ain't all cracked up to like they are. Plus, a lot of people are finding out that these brands are cutting corners by using resources in other countries to make these products. You know what I'm saying? The same ones, the same people that we see doing a lot of bootlegging and a lot of copying. That be the same people making these products for these brands. So a lot of people are starting to wake up to that, and they're starting to do it direct. You know what I mean? Basically direct to consumer by using the same, finding out these resources and getting their own shit made. So I am starting to see a lot of people starting to make their own shit. More than I've seen before. Like you said, I think people eventually gonna have to wake up anyway. Eventually. Not everybody's gonna wake up at the same time. Everybody's gonna wake up at different times, but eventually everyone gonna have to wake up and face the reality that we living in a false sense of reality where everything is based off of consumerism. Everything is based off of consumer, and we feel like shit when we don't get certain things too. Like they got us so enmeshed in this shit and in this consumerism that we'll feel less than if we don't have certain things. We ain't got the latest Jordans on. You see everybody else with Jordans on, you start to feel like, damn. You know what I mean? Like covenant thy neighbor and shit. You know what I'm saying?
When we should be probably using that money to find things to uplift us.
Right.
Instead of using that, because that money is going to the corporations and they just using it for the cycle and the poisoning us.
Yeah, like
poisoning our minds, our food supply, our water supply. That's all that money is doing, and they living good off of it while we basically suffering.
Right.
At least use that money and support your local farmers and your local individuals. You know what I mean? Because you're building up a community of people that actually care, just like you care. Because y'all got it's about family and community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? These corporations, you're just a number in the system. So you will go to the person that, you know what I mean, that can safely eat their own food and sell you their food. So you will go to local farmers. And and sometimes, and this is what's happening too, a lot of the local farmers are being bought out too by the big farms, by the big companies. And the big companies aren't really farmers, they just scientists. You know what I'm saying? So you got a bunch of scientists buying farmland.
So we have government trying to crack down on farmers.
Right. So they getting rid of real farmers and they replacing them with scientists because that's where the money is going for the court. So the only way that can change is by the people voting with their dollars and supporting more so local businesses and local food suppliers. And you find that through farmers markets. That's where we have to go with it, because the poison, it seems like these corporations aren't going to stop.
Nah, they're not going to stop until the people
they're not going to stop poisoning us.
Yeah, the people have to wake up and you know, they got to move according to how the people move. So if you have a mass amount of people waking up, that's going to force them corporations to even go to jail, clean up their products, or just get put out of business. Period.
All three.
It's gonna put them out of business. It's gonna uplift communities. Once those corporations is out the way, it's gonna uplift communities. So what they did, they sent in basically Walmart and all them became like the hitmen to the area where they wanted the brick and mortars to close down. So they start building these super Walmarts where they put all this shit in there. Your favorite food corporations that you eat from, your fast food, all the products that they just turned that shit into one big market where you can get everything at, and it pretty much shut out the brick and mortars, the middle class, brick and mortar moms and pop stores. These big corporations came in and basically wiped them out completely. Mainly. Then you got now you have these tech companies are now becoming the new these new corporation takeover.
They was able to do that through crony capitalism because a lot of those corporation owners are cool with the politicians, and the politicians create regulations that affect smaller businesses, but it benefit the corporation. That's what's happening. And then it allows the corporation to have more money to come in to compete with local people better. Because Walmart will come into an area that ain't got a Walmart and it be cheap as hell. Walmart be cheap as hell. And as soon as all the small businesses go out of business because everybody going to Walmart instead, then they hike the prices back up.
The prices up. Yep.
And they get help from the politicians and all them because they do all the lobbying and they're able to change the regulations to where it benefit their corporation, but then it's damaging to the smaller business, which is supposed to be us, like entrepreneurs, being independent individuals and not having to depend on the government or depend on a corporation for your basic needs. And the thing is, and what's crazy about it, a lot of corporations are collapsing now because a lot of the stuff that the major corporations get supplied with come from smaller business owners.
Exactly.
So that's you can't. So that's the whole referee thing. Shit just works itself out because look, the corporations are failing now too. Because if the middleman fall, the corporations is going to fall right behind it, and then people's already losing their they're losing their interest in these corporations. You start to see a lot more people is backing away and are shopping local and stuff like that because realize these corporations ain't shit.
Yeah.
Even some of the people who work for these corporations and got up high in the ladder tell you that these corporations ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on. See, it got to be more about the people instead of the industries.
That's what it is.
That's what we have to get in our head. It got to be more about the individual and not the system. That's how you create a community of healthy individuals.
Well, we know certain communities definitely got it in the bag. Certain communities in this country, they live by that shit. They keep everything in their community. Everything.
Yeah, but they do it by hurting other communities though.
Mm-hmm.
Because they feel like, and the thing is, I understand that's how it is in the animalistic world, but as humans, we're supposed to be more intelligent than this.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be, every communities are supposed to be able to coexist. Every community don't have to agree with everything, but you still should be able to coexist. That's what's supposed to separate us from the regular animals that's walking the planet.
Yeah.
When it comes to politics, we should be able to have it to where we're more intelligent, right? So we should be able to work things out without war and fighting or manipulation and all this type of stuff. Because we're supposed to be the intelligent species on the planet. That's what that's what separates us from godhood. Because we're in between the animals and godhood at this point. And we're leaning more towards the animals to the point sometimes the animals are doing better than us.
Well, we're leaning more towards artificial intelligence now.
Yeah, but it's still animalistic because artificial intelligence is still animalistic because it's more mechanical.
Yeah, it's still mechanical.
That's what's artificial. It's more mechanical.
Yeah, it doesn't have feelings.
Right. It don't have emotional intelligence.
Yeah, it don't have emotional.
It don't have emotional intelligence. Yeah, AI have intelligence, but not emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
That's what separate
humans. It can't make moral decisions. Right.
Right. That's what. But a lot of humans don't have that neither.
Yeah. Well,
that's
it's the problem. Well, it's the foods and shit. The artificial foods is creating artificial humans. That's what's happening, bro. It's altering our DNA and it's creating and it's making us artificial. You know what I mean? If you eating a bunch of artificial foods, then what you think that's going to do to your DNA? It's going to alter it and make you artificial.
People will compare us to animals just trying to survive out in the wild, but we're supposed to be more intelligent than that. That's why we're able to build things intelligently in advanced systems, so we won't have to do that. And if we could build advanced systems to where we don't have to worry about the regular survival a wild animal do, then we should be able to have the intelligence to be able to have peace also.
Right. Not when you chemically imbalanced.
Right.
When you bombarded with a bunch of toxic and chemical foods.
Right, because it's knocking your hormones off. Yeah. Your hormones is what controls your brain chemistry.
Right.
Which controls your mood.
Right. So it's making people feel, make decisions based off impulse, shit like that. Like people don't even feel the same no more. You know what I'm saying? Like people really, I mean, it's turning people into strictly, I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's generations. You realize it gets worse after every generation. That's because our DNA is being degraded at a chemical level. You know what I mean? A chemical, biological level. We're being altered. Like the human race wasn't originally this aggressive until we started adding synthetic things into ourselves. Because it's altering our DNA and it's altering our brain chemistry, which means it's going to alter our expression, the way we express ourselves. Yeah, they effed us up pretty badly, and it's only it's enough. It's a lot of people waking up, but it's not enough yet. Because not a lot of us are aware of what's been done to us and what's continuously being done to us and how it's being done to us chemically, spiritually, and mentally. This stuff, we're being attacked. We're being attacked on all fronts. And the thing is, it can easily be reversed just by a changing of your mindset.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Yep.
Change your mind, change your heart.
Yep. Your perception. Yep.
Perception changes. Yeah. Changes everything. Everything around you will change once your perception change.
Right. But they have to change in a higher vibrational way.
Yeah.
As far as you make it more intelligent, emotional decisions with your life.
Yeah, y'all hit that like button if y'all ain't hit that like button yet. This one of them ones.
This is one of them ones.
It's one of them ones right here.
Because look, animals don't have emotional intelligence like we do. Nah. They just survive. They straight survival mode.
Yeah, straight survival mode.
So, but when humans get into straight survival mode, you can't tell us from the wild animals.
Nah.
What separates us from the wild animals? That's what we need to ask ourselves. And once you find out the answer to that, then that will solve the world problems. What makes us different than the wild animals? Some people will say nothing makes us different than the wild animals. They far left behind. They got more learning to do. We gotta dig that question up out of ourselves. What makes us different than the wild animals out there? Then we'd be able to create a real community and a real society based off that mindset. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if a lot of people is ready for that, but there's more people than there was 10 years ago. There's more people than there was just a couple years ago. You know what I mean? When the pandemic and all that stuff happened. Just from that time till now, a lot of people are on this frequency that we talking right now. And that's what we have to, that's the question. When you go on your journey, that's the question you got to ask yourself. What makes you different than the wild animals out there? What makes a human being any better or different than a regular wild animal out there? And we are better, or supposed to be. There's something in us that is different than just a wild animal out there. And we to the point in society where there's a lot of people out there that's worse than the animals. That the animals make better emotional decisions than a lot of humans are.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's really sad. Yeah. It's really sad when you understand where we supposed to be mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally as the human race, and where we were.
Yeah.
Where we were just 100 years ago is probably better than what we are now. It's getting worse. And we just hit a pinnacle stage where niggas is starting to wake up now.
Yeah, I think it's a cycle that we go through.
Yeah, right.
On the planet. The cycles that we go through on the planet. You know what I mean? Where we on the decline, and then somehow we wake up, get it together. Then we start, getting back to the natural way of things. and then it's like a game we playing with ourselves, where we get it all, we lose it, we get it all again, then we lose it again, we get it back, then we lose it. It seems like that's the cycle we on this planet, period. That's the cycle we on. Yep.
Up and down cycle.
Yeah.
And not just in our own personal lives and not just, but systematically, just period. This place is up and down. That's why duality exists here.
That's why duality exists, right? And then eventually it all balances itself. It all balances itself out anyway. So
yeah, I know, right? Serenity. That's why we said the animals are doing better than the humans right now. The humans need to be learning from the animals at this point. Serenity said, sad that a dog has more human empathy than a psychopath who try to enslave us. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That unfortunately, I hate to admit that something like that is true, but it's the truth. That's how crazy it's getting. That's why some of us need reality check. We have to wake up. We have to wake up to this. For ourselves, for not even just for our future generation, for now. I don't even want to hear that shit. I don't even want to hear about the kids in the future. Nah, grown adults need to start doing this now.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. George Calloway say what you do frequently is your frequency. That's true.
That's true. Facts. Yeah, that's facts. What you do frequently is your frequency. Facts. Yep. And what you do religiously is your religion.
Yeah. I mean, you know
what I'm saying?
But you can always change the station. You can always change the frequency.
Yes, you can.
You know what I'm saying? Turn off your station. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, turn off the station. You know what I'm saying? Go to another station. Go to
another station. Right. And that's what I did with my mindset.
Right. Go to
I just went to a different station. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In my mind.
That's what you do as humans. You just go, like saying, you go to a different station.
Yeah, but that's the question. That what makes us different than the wild animals? Humans are supposed to be better and have dominion over this planet, as far as a community, not as an individual, not just as an organization, but as a community of people who nobody individually own anything, but everything belongs to everybody. That's the natural order of Earth. Nothing individually belongs to anyone or any corporation or any everything belongs to everybody, but not anybody individually.
It doesn't matter who makes
how it is.
It doesn't matter who's the maker is. It's for everybody.
Right. It's for everybody. That's the truth.
If Apple making Apple computers, it's not for Apple. That computer is for everyone. It don't matter who it is. The technology is supposed to be for everybody.
Right.
It don't matter who the maker is.
And it's not supposed to be at a deficit.
Right. It's supposed to actually it's actually supposed to support humanity.
Facts.
Everything we do is supposed to support humanity while we here. I mean, while we here. I mean, you wouldn't give, you know what I mean, once you off this planet, once you out of here, you out of here. But while we here.
While we're here, we're supposed to be mastering the two energies.
Get up, and then get the hell up out of here.
Well, that's the only way you're getting up out of here.
Yep.
There ain't no other way to get up out of here unless you master these two energies.
Right. Got to.
What are the two energies? Good and evil.
Yeah. Within self.
Right, within self, because we in the realm of knowledge and good and evil. We all ate from that tree because we the children of that. That's what Earth. That's what birth Earth is. The knowledge of good and evil. So it's about duality. That's what birth Earth. That's and we're the children of Earth. Humankind is the children of Earth. All right, and we were birthed out of duality. So what we have to do here is balance duality to get out of here. but you have to balance it within yourself first. And that's everybody, and that's all it's about. Balancing duality within yourself. Everybody have good and evil things about themselves. Everybody have dark and light energies within them.
Facts. Can't have one without the other.
Right. It's about balancing the two. It's not about one overcoming the other or anything like that. It's about balancing the waters. And it's hard to do that when you're constantly being poisoned. To be honest with you, because what do they call it when we have depression and bipolar? What they call it? Chemically imbalanced, right? They say it's chemically imbalanced. So those chemicals represent the dark and the light energies in your body that's supposed to be balanced. So you already at a deficit. You already behind just by being poisoned physically. It's hard to control your emotions and your thoughts when your hormones are being attacked. And all that's still within yourself.
Yeah,
so you gotta think about it. We have to start clearing our bodies out so we can think more clearly, so we can change our perception. We gotta at least get to a level to where we can think clearly, and it's hard to do that when you're constantly under attack with all these chemicals. When you see a lot of the fights going, when you turn on social media and you see a lot of these fights, where do they be at, JR? Inside of fast food restaurants.
Yep. Fighting at the Walmart, fighting
The
at
Waffle House.
Waffle
Look
House,
how many
the
Waffle
Walmart.
House. Right.
Fights
Waffle
been
House
going
got
on.
a freaking reputation of fights breaking out there.
Hell yeah.
But look what the people are consuming. Look all the ingredients in those foods that these restaurants are serving up. It's making the people violent and not being emotionally stable. That's orchestrated. Man, that's why we developed our line of products, man. That's why we like, all right, we gotta see, we talk about it, we're aware of it, and we decided to take the next step and have a solution.
Somebody gotta do it, because corporations are not, we can't depend on that shit. I'm telling you.
Facts.
All that shit is doing is causing suffering.
That's what inspired us to create nightandayherbals.com.
Facts. Y'all better go over there and purchase some products. I tell you that. Some natural products. Because you feel the difference when you use a natural product versus using corporation products, bro. You feel much, it's definitely, it's a big difference.
Very big difference.
And it works. And the thing about it is, it works effectively and very fast, because we're so used to using the corporations products, that when you start using natural products, it works effectively. Like right away. You start to feel a difference.
You do.
You feel a difference.
You do. We've been on this journey for a while, man. And, it got me clear-headed. That's how I was even even contemplate any of this stuff of how we did everything and how we continue to do what we do. At the same time, learning all this information, retaining it, and being able to be able to put the information out there in a way where people understand it.
Yeah. That's another thing.
We had to actually
doing things,
clean our minds and ourselves up to be able to get to that position to even do that.
Right. To even actually be relatable, you gotta do it yourself. You can't just talk about it. You gotta be about it as well. You gotta put that shit into action. And I'm telling you, it starts by just changing your perception of shit too. One slight change in your perception will change your whole surroundings.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? One slight change in your perception will change your surroundings.
Yo, make sure y'all smash that like button, man, and share this video. This definitely been one of them talks. This is one of them talks, man. Look, we got all these natural soaps.
Look, you see
that comes with the body oils.
You see the lavender. You see
right.
Honeysuckle. These is all different herbs. Wild rose. These are used by all natural ingredients. What's in it? What it says is what's in it. So nothing about no fillers, none of that. None of that. Strictly made by what's the lavender, the aloe veras, and stuff like that. The shea butter soaps.
And this is what, and you realize your skin start changing and everything. Your mood start when you start eating right and using stuff that ain't chemical infested on your body. You start to notice the difference, man, within a couple days. Sometimes just by cleaning out your body and getting that stuff out by detoxing and eating right. You know what I mean? You'll feel great after that, and along with water. Making sure you drink a lot, and then using the natural products on top of that, man, it had your skin glowing and everything. And I noticed that I noticed a lot of people cover all they blemishes up with just consumerism stuff, makeups and jewelry. People wear all this shit out there, and it's just like you can't even just show off your natural, beautiful skin because you ain't taking care of yourself correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't even need makeup and all that extra stuff. If you really took care of your skin, you're going to want to show off that. And the best way to take care of your skin is first eating healthy. Number one.
It starts
That's number one. Right. Eating healthy is number one when it comes to your skin health. Yeah. And now I'm saying eating whole foods. Whole ingredient. Nothing ultra processed at all. Nothing that comes in a bag with a whole bunch of ingredients on it. Nothing that comes in a container. Or not. We talking like straight from the farmer to your table.
Yeah, because a lot of that
straight from the farm to your table is the way you're supposed to be eating.
Yeah, it seep through your pores. That's why your skin start looking great, because all them chemicals and all that. When you start using a bunch of seed oils and shit.
Facts.
In your pores, man.
Pores. Yeah, we cleaned up our diet. Ate better, we feel a lot better, we sleep a lot better.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Our numbers will go down. When I say numbers, I'm talking about blood pressures and sugar and all that stuff will go down if we just change the way we consume things. Consume things as close to their natural state as you can. Not nothing altered and not nothing added. And I'm telling you, you ain't gonna get that out of most bag things. And things that come in the bag, things that come in the container. And it got the ingredients list got 50, you know what I mean, 50 different words on that ingredients list. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So we got stuff for eczema and blemish. Look, it's that
stuff butter. With antioxidants. Yeah. Moisturizer.
Yeah, I mean, and this one is infused. This one is infused with neem oil.
Neem oil, right? Antioxidants.
Man, so everything is 40% off right now, man. Make sure y'all head over there. As y'all see, we got these good soaps. Black seed soaps and eczema soap to repair eczema. All these are natural soaps and body oil, all of them. We got bear oils on there. Really good products, y'all.
This is good, so body spread butter right. Bingo. See the ingredients.
We definitely appreciate all of y'all who've been shopping with us too, man. We definitely been shipping y'all products out, getting y'all products. As y'all can see, we ship fast and it's also quality. People love when they get they products from us and they see the good quality. They be like, man, I love, yeah. That's what it's about for us. It's about that quality.
Because I'm telling you, because I mean, we've been using them same corporation products for years, and we see the results of using that for years. People sick,
right?
I mean, people just don't feel good. People sick, people in pain constantly.
Inflammation all in their body.
Inflammation's up, you know what I mean? Like crazy. And most people don't realize a lot of the weight they carrying around is inflammation. It's not even fat. It's not even fat. It's not even fat. It's inflammation. And when you carry around too much inflammation, it start getting to your organs.
Facts.
Kidney
because
failure,
the inflammation is
like
there
that.
to prevent your body naturally inflames to prevent the toxins from going to your organs. So it stores in your tissue. It try to store it in your tissue and in your joints first. That's why you swell up like that and your body be achy and your stomach be swelling. All that is from inflammation. The fluid is like mucus. Mucus and what it's like white blood cells and toxins, because the white blood cells is trying to capture the toxins to prevent it from going to the major organs, and fluid is building up in those areas. That's why people get big legs and all this type of stuff. Then they start getting infections and all that because of the low blood circulation. Yeah, all this is tied into the shit that we eating and consuming.
Yo, we sold out of it. We sold out of the zeolite, so we will be getting that back on there. So make sure y'all join the email list. So when we send out the the email blast, y'all know that it's back in stock. So we officially sold out the zeolite, but we still got the detox drink on there, and we got the super greens on here too.
Yeah, make sure y'all check that. And we got the CBD bath bombs.
The CBD, yes sir.
We got the bath bombs over there.
Yep.
Those are excellent.
Soothing for the skin.
Yeah.
Skin back intact.
Very soothing for the skin. If you got skin problems and all that, your skin, all them bath bombs is what's up. Very relaxing.
Yeah, there's any other.
We got the wound salve. This is a zeolite herbal wound salve. So if for anybody got problems with their skin, it's good for like bumps and scrapes and cuts and burns, and it's good to even rub on like stretch marks and stuff like that. Clear the skin up. So yeah, man, y'all check us out. And then we got the hemp CBD pain relief balm. This is excellent for people who have muscle pain, joint pain, and all that. The high doses of CBD in this really gets rid of the pain instantly. You got people that hit it up like, man, as soon as I rubbed it on my messed up leg, right away, it took the pain away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, this has been one of our best selling products for years. People love this pain relief balm here.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And we've been at this for like 6 years. We probably had this on the shop for like 3 or 4 years. 4 years.
Yep.
3 or 4 years we had this pain balm on there. It's been really good seller. It was highly effective.
Hell yeah.
Highly effective. That's nightandayherbals.com, man. We about to get up out of here. We about to hit the 2.5 hour mark.
Facts.
Definitely a very informational stream. Definitely appreciate all of y'all who tuning in. You know what I mean? All of y'all who've been sharing our videos and everything. Definitely appreciate y'all. Sure. And appreciate all of y'all who've been shopping with us.
Yep. If y'all order, y'all packages will be shipped out. Y'all that just ordered.
Facts. We shipped out a bunch of packages yesterday. You know what I mean? We shipped some out today. We ship out usually during the week, so make sure y'all get y'all orders in.
Facts. And
on that note, out of here, man.
On that note, we up out of here, y'all. Peace. Catch y'all on the next live stream.
Hey, what's going on, my good peoples? My name is Itiko La Paris Jordan, and I am the owner of Melanin Splash LLC, partners with the Night and Day Shopping Network, with them boys, the Curry Gang And guess what? They got it going on. But guess what? Guess what else is going on? This right here, this gorilla strength, if you've been backed up, if you've been having a hard time, you need a good detox and cleanse that gets you straight, you need gorilla strength. Hey guys, check this out. Turmeric, black seed oil, black maca root, ginger, vitamin D, ashwagandha, sea moss, all in one container? That's crazy. But guess what? I'm crazy enough to put it inside of here and put it on that network. And I thank them boys. Yes, because we're going to get it popping. You need to go there today. If you want, see them boxing gloves? It means something. You need to go there and get it. Go subscribe to the Night and Day Shopping Network and make sure you pick up some of this gorilla strength so you can have an easy day. You want everything to flow? You know where to go. To the Night and Day Shopping Network. Get it popping. Yes. It's waiting for you. Let's go.